What up?
What's up?
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say a word or say like something that's going on in the NBA,
Mm-hmm.
and you just explain what it means to you or how you feel about it.
Okay.
Kyrie,
How I feel about him?
yeah, like top 5. What you?
I don't feel he's top 5. He's top 15. I think he's one of the top 5 point guards. He's a dope player. I wouldn't mind having him on my team. You talking about straight basketball. If you separate Kyrie, the basketball player, from his personal stuff, you can't. He's undoubtedly one of the best players. I think he's getting a bad rap from what happened with the Celtics. But you got to look more deep into that Celtics situation. I mean, he was balling with the Celtics that year. They were making that run. Then he gets hurt. Then them young boys go to the
Eastern Conference.
They go to the Eastern Conference Finals through the playoffs, and then you come back to next year. You're injured. Them boys are sitting there like, man, we just proved we can do it. We got to listen. They're not ready to listen to a veteran player anymore. If they would have went out early or not made the playoffs after he went, it would have been a whole different story. But they were feeling themselves, rightfully so. They should be. They earned that. But then now you got a team with not enough basketballs, and that everything fell.
Because they made it seem
like
like Jason Tatum's number went down this year when it really he had to get the ball. Jalen, Gordon Hayward, Kyrie,
they all came back. So it was just too many chefs in the kitchen type situation. I think Kyrie's gonna ball out with the Nets. I don't know what they're gonna do because KD's out for this first year, but I mean he's gonna do his thing. The Celtics, I think, will get better, and not because
they got Kimba.
No, I'm just saying not because Kyrie left. I think it's going to be easy for people to say Kyrie left, so they're doing better. I think it's going to be more of the fact that you just got less people who need the ball. Kimba Walker can definitely facilitate and would be happy to, being the only player in Charlotte for as much time.
And they got rid of Rozier, so that's another person.
Yeah, where'd he go?
To Charlotte. They did a signing.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, I mean, you definitely the team is built better. Not like it's always best to have all these top players, but sometimes you don't need all those players because everybody's sitting there like, I need minutes.
Just like Kawhi, LeBron, and AD. That sounds like a lot to me.
If that 3 links up and stuff, I still don't see them winning the championship.
That just seems like
here's
a lot.
why. They have no money for anybody else. It's just a fact. You can't go over the cap. Those 3 take up all your money. You're gonna have a mid-level exception, so you can get a player for that. But then you're looking at like Rondo or Danny Green to take that. If that scenario falls in place, and then everybody else has to sign for a veterans minimum or a league minimum. And it'd be just for 1 year, but there ain't that many players out there right now who fit that mold because a lot of people are already signed because they're sitting here waiting on Kawhi.
Yeah.
So I think the best situation for them, in my opinion, is if Kawhi decides to sign somewhere else. I guess we'll know that tomorrow or something like that. But when that does happen, that'd be the best situation because they can spread that $32 million around a lot better.
The finals, is it more exciting now or back then? Because it seems like the last few years we just kind of been like, here comes the NBA Finals.
Actually, I've been opposite. I haven't been watching the regular season. I'll follow it, see who's winning games and stuff, or I'll watch a replay on like the YouTube where they have the condensed games where you can watch a whole game in like 10 minutes. I'll do that during the regular season because I ain't got to pay for it either. And then when the playoffs comes, that's when I watch it. So maybe I don't know. Me and my friends don't really talk about this. So I don't know what the ratio of people is who think the regular season's better or worse. But in my opinion, I still love the playoffs because the games actually mean something.
Yeah.
And
I like seeing those upsets. Like if the Clippers would have somehow beat Golden State, boy, that would have been amazing.
I wouldn't have liked that. No, there's certain teams where you want to see those upsets, but then there's certain guys where, like, honestly, when the playoffs started, I wanted to see Golden State win another championship. Now, a lot of people be like, "Oh, you're a Golden State fan." I'm not.
Right.
I'm not a Golden State fan. I love watching Steph because he's just fun to watch. Clay, he's fun. They're a fun team to watch, but they're not my favorite team. but I was cheering for them. And the whole KD thing, what I wanted to happen was I want them to win one more championship,
he leave
healthy, and then I wanted KD to leave,
right?
Because we saw what this experiment looked like, and even with them not winning, we saw what this experiment looked like. Because the only reason Toronto won is because they was hurt. I think everybody who's a basketball player, and you put your personal feelings aside, knows that would have been over in 4 or 5 if they were fully healthy, and if Clay wouldn't have went down, there's a chance
they would have went to 7.
They would have went to 7.
Yeah,
that game was going to 7 if Clay didn't go down. I didn't think they were going to win in 7. I had predicted that Toronto was going to only win the championship if it went 7 games.
Yeah.
But obviously they won in 6. But to me, it's just as exciting.
Right.
But now, for me, you know what? For me personally, and this is just me, it's more exciting now than it was back then, because back then I had my favorite players.
Oh, okay.
So I only really followed my favorite players. I wanted my favorite players to win, and that was it. Everybody else I didn't too much care about. So that's the difference. Now I kind of get to enjoy the playoffs. As a fan, I get to whatever happens. But when we got down to the last 4, I don't know if I was talking to you or one of my other friends, but I had kind of said, I was like, any of these 4 teams that are left win, I'd be happy with.
Man, Portland, we could have just won 2 games.
They didn't have a shot.
Man, we could have just won 2 games.
They were dope. I love Portland. I love Dame. I love CJ, man.
Dame was waving bye-bye to your boy PG.
Yeah. PG's my guy, too.
And Dame my favorite player, so I knew I called you as soon as it happened.
Yeah, PG's one of my favorite players. Him and Giannis are my favorites. But anyways, I'll let you move on.
Fashion. Man, what's up with this fashion? Some of the stuff they be wearing is horrible.
I keep this PC. It's going to be on YouTube. The internet lives forever. I might be running to be a senator in 20 years, and us be coming back to this, be like, oh, you said that. They look, nah, I'm not going to go there. So, it's different. Like it's really different.
It's a lot. It's really crazy. It's out of this world.
But it's fashion. All right, here's an example. When you look at high-end fashion, stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. You don't see regular people wearing that stuff. No. Like when you see people on runways at these fashion shows and stuff like that, I've never seen anybody like, oh, I'm about to go cop that, and then see somebody walking down the street like that. Even people with money.
Nope.
I've never seen it. I go to other states, or when you go to California or something like that. You don't see people just walking around with it's like they make these clothes for that runway, and I don't even know if they sell them.
Right.
So it's just something different.
I just know Mike Conley, James Harden, they still wear nice stuff. But then you got Russ and some of these other players. You bro, how'd you got all this money? You decide to wear that.
Right. So I think it's more like the example I'm trying to give with the fashion one with that. I think these NBA players just go wild. They be like, oh, this is what I wore.
I'm about to be on Rich
Report. It was so wild. And then the next one tries to outdo that. He has skinny jeans on. Let me see if I can get skinny jeans
with the holes.
It's just, and it's like, dude, look at them in college. They wasn't wearing that.
And I wonder if we had we had a party and invited them. I don't think they would wear that.
They would, because
that's what
it's a way. It is a way of showing that you're famous and that you got money.
Right.
It's being exaggerated. It's like that fake. Well, I can do whatever I want.
I don't even know if some of them are buying it though.
Yeah.
I think they're getting it for free and just
But it's like those what they call those that kind of group of people. They damn try. I can't even think of the name of that group of people, but it's like the group of people now, and they be pretending like they don't care about nothing. Like every time you say something like, I don't really care, they try to be so nonchalant about everything, but it's kind of an act.
Yeah.
Or something like that. It's kind of like that, but they're just going over the top with these fashions. and then they're getting paid to do it. Like people don't realize
know we're going to talk about it because we're talking about it right now.
Everything they are wearing, they're getting paid to do it. They're sponsored to do that stuff. So it's weird, but I don't know. But
that's different.
That's the NBA fashion is different, but I can't really knock it because we was different back then too. Like Like, we changed how shorts was worn and the baggy shorts and black socks and stuff like that. That was my era of people who changed that in our style of everything. So it's just changing. It's just revolving. I can't knock it. I don't hate it. I just don't rock it.
Centers. Are they centers?
Soft.
They're soft now?
The whole league is soft now.
Yeah.
The league is, like a bunch of Little Debbie cupcakes. It's so soft. But that's the league. It's not the players' fault. It's the league's fault. That's how they've just made it. The rules and stuff made it soft. You reward flopping. Yeah. Like, the rules on paper aren't bad. Mm-mm. Like, you don't want your players getting hurt. You want that's fine. But the way the refs call it makes it.
And then it seems like they kind of reward certain players. Like, James Harden goes to the line 12 times a game.
Dude, and they let this man travel.
Every play.
His step back is travel. I don't care what explanation. My hand was on top of the ball, so I get to do this. Blah blah blah. Travel.
Is Giannis traveling too?
His Euro?
Yeah. Sometimes, not every time.
Sometimes he gets away with an extra step. Mm-hmm. But dude, I've seen. I mean, how many times have we seen him on fast breaks pick up the ball at the 3-point line and like. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, I used to be able to pick up the ball at the 3-point line, do 2 steps, and still get to the rim. But, dude, they be like that Cori Brewer one, when he picked it up and took 8 steps. And it's like, you've seen other versions of that. Yeah. So, hey, it's the rules are inconsistent. Yeah. And we want to see more basketball and less of this ref stuff. And, I want to see less flopping. I liked when they came up with the rule talking about they were going to fine these players for flopping, but it don't seem to work.
Nah, they getting paid so much money, they don't care.
Like, yeah, if you rewarded them, what's a $5,000 fine to a man who's making millions?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's whatever.
What about the dunkers? Are the dunkers more exciting now or back then? I feel like back then there was only a few, like, Vince, and they were, like, super exciting. Like,
when you say back then, when are you talking about back then?
I'm talking about, like, before, like, all right, 2010.
Are you just because when you say back then, I'm thinking all old school. Yeah, everything, that's what I'm everybody saying. So, out like, the NBA who's down before.
But now that I think about it, you had like Vince, Dominique, Kemp, all them.
So yeah, the dunking Jordan. Was crazy. The dunking now, I would say, is probably reached its peak. That's the best way I can explain it. There's not too many new things you can do with the dunk. Yeah. Like, that's why these dunk contests, like, everybody complains about the dunk contest.
That's why they need to go get them dunkers, the people who just dunk, like Jordan Kilgannon and all that.
Nobody want to see them. Like,
I would love to see, like, them. Like, say we got 3 of them, like Jordan Kilgannon, everybody hates Chris, them 3, and then somebody else, versus, like, Levine, Aaron Gordon, and Zion Williamson.
Who wants to see them, though?
That would be crazy.
Like this is my rebuttal to that. If people wanted to see them so bad, when they have their own, like they had the dunk thing on YouTube or whatever, the dunk league and stuff like that, why that would have blown up. Like the 3 on the big 3, Ice Cube's thing is blowing up to the fact that CBS has picked it up.
This is only the second season for the dunk league, though.
But
this is the third season for
we know
Ice
they ain't getting CP. Yeah, I guess it's the third season, but ain't nobody picking up the dunk league. It's a fact. That's just a fact. No, it's cool to watch an episode and then maybe come back a couple weeks later and see who won and stuff. Yeah. Nobody's sitting there watching that religiously. They're dunks. Mm-hmm. It's dunk. Like, we got people in the neighborhood who dunk. Like, I grew up when I was playing ball with T-Dub. Y'all can YouTube T-Dub from Minnesota, and he could have did dunk league and all that stuff. Actually, he did the circuit of all that, but he's not dunking anymore. But, I mean, the fact of the matter is that after a while, it gets boring to just watch dunkers. That's why there's still more excitement to watch bad dunkers in the dunk contest than it is. Like, think about it. I mean, the 3-point contest. Everybody loves to watch the 3-point contest, but all they're doing is shooting threes. That's a fact. So it's more about people's interests. It's almost like a comedian or something like that. You got that friend and joke. You can have a friend who tells a joke, and everybody cracks up laughing. And then you can have somebody else in another scenario tell like a same version of the joke or equally funny joke, but they don't really like that person. So nobody laughs at that person. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a popularity thing with that. But I think we're just reached the peak because pretty much most of the dunkers can do everything that's been done before them. But it was more exciting back then because you didn't actually when Ryder did the East Bay Funk dunk. Nobody had seen that before. I remember I'm in high school when he did it, and I'm like, what the? I said, did he just put it through his leg and dunk it? And I had heard about it because I think they were talking about he did it in college or something like that. But we have YouTube and all that stuff like that, so I hadn't seen it. And when he did it, it was like, dude, my mind was blown. And then Kobe did it like a year or two later, like about 2 or 3 years later when he came out his rookie year. And he did it. And his wasn't even as pretty, but it was still like, dude, he put it between his legs and dunked it. And then Vince did it, and it was like, oh, dude, it was so easy. He did it, and Vince did his thing. And then one of the best dunk contests besides Jordan and them, and Vince's dunk contest people sleep on is when Desmond Mason and Jason Richardson went at it. Oh, man, that's a dunk contest, man. I don't know. I never hear anybody talk about that dunk contest, but they was balling. I mean, they did so many versions of the in-between.
But I seen Richardson did it off the backboard. He threw it off the stanchion.
Off the side, yeah. And I mean, that's when it, and then that was the peak of what you could do
with the between,
besides, I think,
when Levine
came from the free throw line, basically, and did it. So, I mean, you saw little tweaks, but you're at the peak of certain dunks, like how the windmill. It's done.
Aaron Gordon went between both legs over the little mascot spinning. That was crazy.
So that's the thing. That's where we're at now. The dunks, the basic dunk. You got to use props. You need extra stuff outside of just the dunking because I think the human body's probably reached this limit for what you can and can't do. I mean, even when you think of your imagination, what can you see somebody dunk and do that you haven't seen?
Do you think we'll ever see somebody jump from the 3-point line and dunk it? Yeah, okay. That's something you can imagine. You can imagine that, though.
If you see somebody jump from the free throw or from the 3-point line and dunk, you need to call the government because this man not human. It's not. I'm for real. Dude, I mean, y'all can be sitting there oohing and awing if you want. I'm out. I'm going to be the first one walking out the gym like, man, hey, dude, man, they've landed and they have infiltrated our people. That's just facts, man. From the 3-point line, think about that. The human body's not physically able to do that. Think of how big your calves would have to be to jump from the 3-point line, dog. For real, dude. It's just...
Hold on. Iggy got bounced and his calf muscles ain't that big.
That's true, but he ain't jumping from the 3-point line. That's so much power, man. Like when people who know how much power needs to be generated to jump and get your body off the ground, you know.
They understand.
Yeah, free throw line is right around the limit. You might see somebody get a couple inches past the free throw line. That's about it, man. Somebody coming from the 3-point line, man. Even if somebody jumps from the 3-point line and touches the net, I'm out. That's just that's just a fact. You could lower the rim to 8 feet and should nobody be able to jump from the 3-point line and dunk it.
I'm only laughing because you're dead serious.
I'm dead ass serious. I'm dead serious on that, man. I mean, if I'm lying, man, put in the comments why and show me some or link to the video of somebody just getting in the vicinity from the 3-point line. And I'm gonna show you an alien. Facts. You show me somebody jump from the 3-point line, I'm gonna show you an alien.
All right, man. Last but not least. Last but not least, Men in Black. For real. Men in Black. Last but not least, MVP. How you think they were giving this award away? Because it seemed like every year the way the person wins is different.
MVP is most popular player. That's what it is. It's you can't go wrong with it. Like, how you want to argue it? Like, Giannis won it this year. I thought he should have been most valuable player. He was by himself, and he took that Milwaukee team pretty much almost to the finals. They got beat by the finals champion.
Right.
Like, and that comes from something. The team you lost to stop you from going to the finals beat Golden State, even though Golden State was hurt. But that's how it's going to look on the record. So you can't be mad at yourself. And Giannis is unstoppable, man. People sleep on Giannis. Like, if you watch Giannis this year, you saw that three. He getting confident. Is it like what you gotta watch is somebody's confidence in shooting it. He wasn't hitting it at a high clip, but he hit it well enough
to make them respect it.
Not yet, but he hit it well enough where you like, oh, give him a year or two. They're gonna have to start coming out on him. Because he was confident with that stroke, and he's getting it. Now he's got this whole summer to work on it, and all next year, and that three is going to be there. Once he gets a three and it becomes consistent, let's say he just hits it at like, let's say he can get that up to 35% from 3-point line, for 3-point, 35 or like 37 or something like that. Because he's going to have a year where he's just that good. How you guard him? There's nobody in the league, Bron or anybody, because LeBron, to me, is one of the most overrated defensive players. I think he's one of the greatest help defensive players in the league the last 10 years, but I've never thought he was the
lockdown defender.
Like, when they talk about LeBron, his one-on-one defense, they usually be talking about, remember that time when he locked up Derrick Rose? It's like, dude, Derrick Rose 6'3". You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he played great defense on there, but when has he locked up anybody who's at? Remember what Paul George did to him in that series against Miami? But George was going to work on him. But, I mean, LeBron's the best, so don't come at me like that. I mean, he's the best, in my opinion. But I believe his defense one-on-one is overrated. But I think if you ain't watching, you think you're going up for a layup, he's going to come out of nowhere.
And put it on you?
Yeah, he's going to get steals and stuff. I just saying one-on-one, you put him on an island, he ain't stopping T-Mac one-on-one on the island. That's a fact.
Who, LeBron?
And now you put Prime.
Oh, yeah.
Prime against Prime, and you put him on, and you go ISO.
See what he did on Christmas that year. Yeah. Well, it was like his second or third year.
LeBron, yeah, it's kind of unfair because that was LeBron's rookie year, and LeBron balled that game too. But a couple years later is what you want to watch. Houston Rockets and Cleveland went. T-Mac had like 36 at halftime on the back gave out. It was a wrap. But we off subject. We off subject. So we do another video. We talk about underrated players.
I just feel the only reason I asked about the MVP, I just feel like it seemed like every year it's a different reason why this player win. Like when Russ won, it was like because he was, did something that ain't happening since Bill Russell did it. And then when Harden did it, it was like, well, his numbers were ridiculous and he had a higher seed in Golden State. But then it's like, if we gonna be honest, I thought the MVP was the best player in the league. But if that was the case, we was gonna be giving it to LeBron the last 10 years. He has like 8 MVPs or something.
I mean, it's one of those things where you're not wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron technically could have been MVP all those years.
Right.
Does anybody want to see that?
No.
I mean, we want to be like, yeah, we know LeBron's the best player. I don't think anybody, when Steph won it back-to-back, right? Nobody was sitting there like, man, I'll take Steph over LeBron.
Right.
When Harden won it, nobody was saying I'll take Harden over LeBron or, Westbrook or any of those players. Nobody was saying that. So I don't think MVP tarnishes anybody who doesn't win its rep. It's just that's your season. I think it should be spread around like that. Like if LeBron won it every year he was in the league, people would stop caring about it. I think that's what the way they do it now is the reason people still care about it a little bit is because it's spread around. But your question is basically, are they
picking a fake?
Are they picking it the right way?
Yeah.
My example of that would be, I would say no, and here's why. Here's why. And this is my example, and maybe somebody can add on to it or, break it down a little bit more. But this is my example. So I'm going to go NFL on this one. All right. So when Peyton Manning was with the coach, right, that year he got hurt, they went to the playoffs and they consistently went, right? And then all of a sudden he gets hurt with the collarbone thing.
And they should have gave it to him.
And the next year,
they didn't win the game.
They didn't win. I think they won one game or two
games or something like that.
Technically,
he should have got it.
He should have got MVP. I mean, if we're going by most valuable players, you shouldn't have to play to get MVP.
True.
Peyton Manning technically should have got most valuable player that year.
True.
Because
I said the same thing.
It showed where he was that, and it should go like that in MVP and anything. If we're going legitimately by what how it's broken down as most valuable player. So if you look at it that way, and you have to argue me on that one, it's how valuable is that player to your organization. If you're the MVP, like
I feel like that's why some of these NBA players get some of these contracts.
Yeah,
like
that's why Bron could have definitely won it every year. Because if you take LeBron off any of those following years or any of those years, that team don't make the playoffs.
Cleveland, if you noticed, every time when he left, they got the number 1 pick.
Right.
But then they got the number 1 pick again. Then last year they got the number 4 pick.
Miami's a different though. Because Chris Bosh and Wade was definitely going. I'm not saying they winning the championship or going to the finals, but they going playoffs.
Yeah.
That's somebody else is going to fill in that role at small forward. Yeah. So they're definitely that's the only exception. Any of the other teams he's on, he's definitely, you got to give him his props on that one. You got to give LeBron his props anyway. And
I'm taking Kobe. I'm just messing.
Here go hurt Kobe. Kobe was playing and they wouldn't make it. Like, Kobe, bro, you need to sit down, dog. Kobe out there on one Achilles.
And was still giving people. He gave somebody 60 his last game. Oh, Utah. He gave him 60.
Right.
Oh, well. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. We'll have you back on soon.
Ready to argue with somebody next time.
Oh, man. Yeah, we'll bring you on.